see you here. I didn't hear footsteps in the stairs.
The elevator at last is functioning properly.
Another surprise.
A jamboree of surprises this morning.
You know, that elevator was kind of unsafe. Did you know James would sometimes leave the elevator doors open without the hazard safety sign blocking the entrance?
This would explain why James was relieved of his duty before the job was completed. I appreciate your attentiveness to my property. The ugly and the stupid have the best of it in this world. Oscar Wilde.
Can I get you something?
You don't happen to have a pen and paper?
Oh, well, maybe there might be...
Oh, what am I saying? Briefcase. I'm covered.
Do you know the Randolph family?
The engineering plan. Why the sudden interest in the Randolphs?
Oh, well, no reason. Wealthy people seem to know one another a lot.
I'm flattered being placed in the category of the wealthy.
Without money, it's different for people trying to get ahead in this life. Without finance, there is no dance. Lanier used to say. People just have
Just
to...
because I don't sleep on the third floor of this building does not mean I'm blind to what's going on. You and Lanier tried to tarnish something I've acquired through hard work. My good reputation. There are people who work to make their mark in life. How is it every time I step foot in this building, I'm forced to take on a haughty tone and defend my... not important.
I know Lanier and me.
You two schemed and crafted to get ahead. And I'm not certain if this is something you learned from your parents or just some negative trait you've acquired in your travels through heaven knows which alley.
A person can't help who his family is.
They can control their actions. You and Lanier are in more trouble than I deserve.
Sorry.
For some reason, I believe your apology.
Okay, thanks.
The Randolphs and I skied together often. We spent a part of the summer together in the Canary Islands. And there was one other thing. Randolph Jr. was a business partner of mine in the terrace development.
Randolph Jr.?
Your mother tried to ruin him. The same way you and Lanier pathetically tried to smear my business profile.
My mother? You knew her?
I didn't say that. Pay attention.
How do you know all of this? How did you know?
Your mother had a one-week tryst with Randolph Jr. How that came about, I have no idea, and I don't care to know. She tried to extort him by threatening to go to his wife and even his daughter.
How do you know all of this? When did this happen?
She showed up overloaded with one can only speculate what chemical at one of his board meetings. She snuck in with a few protesters who were there for a legitimate cause.
I didn't know that. She was looking out for us. She was entitled to... She was looking out for me.
She was looking out for herself. I don't wish to be cruel, but do you think had she succeeded in her devious plan to build Cass from Randolph? Michelle, look at me. Had she succeeded in extorting Randolph, do you honestly think you would have seen a cent? She would have taken every speck of that filthy money and indulged her hours in an inebriated state. Time literally washed away.
She had an inheritance. My father told me. She promised to get us a house. Not a dark, filthy apartment.
Right.
Yes, a house.
With what money? Or dare I ask with whose money?
Mr. Randolph, Mr. Bennett, they both have my inheritance.
Michelle, there is no inheritance. There never was.
Then why was I told this? Why? A father doesn't lie to his son. Why was I told over and over?
I can't speak for your father. It's a fantasy, this money. Dare I say, just as Lanier chased a fantasy as an actor in the theater. You both went on a quest after fool's gold. I'm sorry you believe in these tales you've been told. Believe it or not, I'm sorry you lost your mother. But Michelle, you're a grown man. You need to take responsibility for your actions. Stop reacting to your past and to your family. Here and now. Right here and now. This is where your life is lived.
My mother suffered. She never hurt anyone, really. Maybe herself. Maybe she shouldn't have told me. Why am I being punished for her actions?
It's so unfair what's happened to you. And without self-pity, I'll also say it's unjust, this maelstrom I'm caught up in named Lanier. And Michelle, Building 325, I should sell this building immediately and give the profits to the first charity that asks for a donation.
I came here to see the person who took what was mine. I didn't want to like him, but he pretended to like me. That day, I just wanted to see the building I was told Lanier conned Mr. Bennett into signing away my mother's money to him.
Not true, incorrect.
Oh, I wish I never met Lanier. I wish I never climbed those stairs.
So, you do have a grudge against him?
I don't know, probably. I mean, no. I don't know what I mean. Is it okay if I leave?
Leave if you like. Life catches up to us all. Arrested development in the person of MICHEL.
I don't know what that means. Lanier and I, we were close, so I thought I made a mistake.
It sounds to me as if you clung to Lanier as an attempt to parental issues, you might say. A poor excuse for a parent figure, no doubt.
I'm like my own mother and father in a way. He took my kings, all of them. When someone told him they were valuable, he sold them to somebody.
You're talking about kings? And who sold?
I collect chess pieces, kings. Look, the only one I have left. I always carry one, a different one all the time. For good luck.
I'm afraid that trinket hasn't brought you much luck in the past. And I doubt it will do you any good today.
You never know what star is going to strike.
Michelle, will you continue? What happened with the chess piece?
I brought my entire collection here, and I stored it in that shelf. I like the glass door. It just seemed made for my collection. I liked the way it looked in there, especially around noon. But one day I arrived here after rushing out for supplies, and you know that stupid elevator's been out of order since I met Lanier.
I do.
And right away I noticed all my kings were gone. And even though I didn't question him, I knew Lanier did something with them. He said he put them in a safer place, or I don't know, but I knew it was no use. I just knew it. He took my chess pieces.
Those chess pieces are crap. Why do you care about the chess pieces? Well, if he had given you such an attitude, why didn't you just leave that morning for good?
I don't know. I was angry about the chess pieces being sold. But, you know, Lanier said so many mean things to me.
This is exhausting, Michelle.
My writing in Lanier's diary.
How or why I became personally involved in this hornet's nest is beyond me. The entire experience with this building has brought out a person from inside of me I just can't identify. Do you remember Detective Raymond barging in on you, perusing through those pages of hodgepodge?
Yes, I remember.
It seems you were quick to hide it from the detective, and in doing so, you placed the diary in.
No wonder I couldn't find it. I put it in the box marked for your office, didn't I?
The box was sent to my dear friend and lawyer, Mr. Bernard Hayden, and he forwarded it to me.
I remember right after the police left here, Paul came with the delivery man and they took some boxes.
How I stumbled across the otherwise box of worthless goods. Maybe a good star was on my side that day?
Are you leaving this? What?
Do with it what you like. Burn it for all I care.
Burn?
There's a copy in my safe deposit box, and another with my lawyer.
I was mad about the chess pieces being sold. I was in the hallway and I found that lamp and that's how I met Lanier.
What does this have to do with?
That's how I met Lanier. He was in here writing something.
A script, perhaps? A journal?
Well, he let me keep the lamp and we became friends. Closer than friends. Vernon, I don't understand.
I've already explained to you I thought he was a poor example for a friend, not a parent figure by any means.
Well, I was angry about the chess pieces being sold. But Lanier said so many mean things to me. I saw that he really didn't care for me. Well, in fact...
Close? The only thing that makes me and you close, Michelle, are these quarters. But let me tell you, I'm up and out of here very soon. Any day now. I was Mrs. Bennett's best student. Her best.
Of course, it's the world's loss. They don't know what a truly great talent you are.
Are you dense? Stop kissing up to me. It's aggravating and smothering. You're always zoning in and out of reality. There's the door, zone out.
Forever?
How should I know? The delivery man. Go see if that's our pizza.
Oh, it's just Paul. Oh, well.
Oh, well? How very original. Who taught you that? Your opium-filled mother? Or your whiskey-smelling poor excuse for a father?
Yeah, that's not...
My parents were so elegant. Never touched a drink in their saintly lives. Oh, the theater. Dinners at wonderful restaurants. Enchanting walks through Central Park. Discussing Tennessee Williams' dialogue and Whitman's prose. Paris architect, Mr. Houseman.
And Aunt Rosemary?
My dear, kindly, pleasant-faced Aunt Rosemary. I remember now. It was one of our glamorous family holiday parties at my parents' winter home. The family didn't mind upholding the meal. A feast, really, for me. In fact, they begged me to act out a scene from A Kiss in the Dream House. I read the role of Marlowe. And when I came to my last line, Aunt Rosemary stood up proudly and applauding. She said, "Oh, we have in our Miss Greatness, Lanier, the next Spencer Tracy, no doubt." And then she looked at me right in the eye and said, "Your destiny is to be a great man."
Aunt Rosemary knew what she was talking about.
Yes. That's right. She was an acting teacher. In fact, she also said, if those commoners at Roosevelt High could only take a lesson from my darling Lanier. Do you think it's polite staring at people?
I was listening to you.
Spying on me is more like it. What's your problem? I can't help it your mother was not as pure and saintly as my beautiful mother. It's not my fault that you never had an Aunt Rosemary. You and your drug-infested mother. And all of your stories about hard luck and a drunken father. Where is that lamp you stole from me? I want it back. Right here, now, or I'll call the police.
But you said you gave it.
Gave? You took.
But it was out with the recyclables. It was junk.
I can't believe you would assume you and I, are close. You're as intoxicated as your low-life parents. You're just here to hang on to my coat strings. I know a social climber when I smell one.
No, not true. When I first came here,
You were spying on me. And stealing furniture under my nose. My very nose. I thought you'd be of use to me when I found you trespassing through my theater. You're useless to me, to everyone. Get out.
he said all those mean, rejecting, hurtful things to me. That day when the new printer was delivered, the delivery man left it in the dog spot near the hall. Right in front of the elevator. I started to tell him it wasn't a safe place because James left the elevator doors open again. But I stopped myself. I had a mean idea cross my mind. I left the box in front of the elevator and I said, if Lanier says he's sorry for the mean things he said to me the night before, I'll move the box from the elevator, even if I had asked Paul to help.
And?
And he arrived rushing down those stairs from his apartment with that look, as if he's disgusted with everything and everybody, especially with me. He used that look a lot. I knew it was no use.
Why didn't you leave that morning? For good.
He gave me that look without so much as a hello. And I quickly told him about the package from the Stalwart Talent Agency.
Was there a package from Stalwart?
No. I made that up to get into the elevator. He instructed me specifically many times, and he was fierce about it too. He said, I know Stalwart is going to accept my script, and when they write me that letter of approval, don't dare put your bad luck fingers on it, understand? No one touches that letter for Stalwart, only me. Lanier, I said, it's here, the package from Stalwart, and it's only a small envelope, so they didn't send back your work. It's here. He looked around the office all hyper. He was blinded with excitement. He ran over to the elevator and stumbled over the box on his own. He didn't need my help.
You're saying the whole thing was an accident?
No. I wish it had been, but no. He looked at me in panic. I could see he wanted me to help him. If only I had taken his hand, he would have been fine. But I rushed over and gave him a good nudge, and down he went to his death. And I'm not gonna lie, I felt relieved. You know, you see.
Paul and Gray enter the office, standing in the doorway. They have overheard the entire conversation.
Uninvited guests.
Michelle, there is one guest I took the liberty of inviting here this morning. He's been listening in on this entire melodrama from the hallway.
Curtain, end of play.